I'm at the Dubai Marina District, and I thought I would give you a chance to hear a few thoughts that I've had upon traveling through Turkey and through Dubai. It's very important to understand that in healthcare around the world, people are healthier than the United States. When you just look at them, they're healthier. Now, please don't hear that as fat shaming, because it's not about fat shaming. If you've been following guidelines that are wrong for decades and following them faithfully, how can you be fat shamed? Because you followed the rules and things happen to you. Things like heart disease, things like atherosclerosis, vessel disease, brain problems like strokes, difficulties like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. All of these things are diseases of toxicity and diseases of imbalance of nutrients. Things like too much carbohydrates and too little saturated fat that's healthy, and too much heavy metals. So what I'm here to talk about is how a person can end up with problems related to the medical profession escalation. And this medical escalation starts out with a symptom, and you go to a medical facility and you see a nurse or a doctor and you tell them about a symptom. And now you trigger a system that is obligated to look for the most dangerous problem that symptom might represent because of the medical legal environment. So now you've entered a spider's web of complication, because there's obligation for the system to say you don't have the worst possible thing you might have. So for example, if you go in with an innocuous symptom like a rash or a headache or some everyday symptom, what's going to happen is the system is going to eat you up and swallow you up, and it's going to write down and document your symptom and any other symptoms and any other problems you might have had, and it will quickly calculate, with humans right now, but later AI, it will quickly calculate, gosh, what is the likelihood that this could be something horribly serious, and we better rule that out. So then they start saying, you need to have these advanced tests. And so they order more tests, they order more procedures, and they order you to go see a specialist. And then the specialist orders specialty tests that are related to that. And at some point, either they rule out serious disease and kick you out of the system. But most of the time, they give you some kind of prescription before they kick you out of the system to control your symptom. And they say, here's your drug. So the best possible scenario is that you leave the system with no serious disease diagnosed. You've spent a lot of money getting diagnosed and getting told you don't have a serious disease. You've wasted a lot of time. You've wasted a lot of medical time. You've wasted a lot of your money or the system's money and resources. And you can be reassured that you don't have the end stage disease that they're worried about. Then, as you leave, you're on a new medication. And so now you have life at a new level. That new level is, well, I had a symptom, and now I have a symptom and a medication. And the medication is very likely to be a toxic patented medication that will probably cause more symptoms. And so now you enter this spiral, this very slow spiral, where you now have symptoms that are from the medication, as well as the previous symptoms whose root cause was never ferreted out. So you've got your original problem, which was never solved. You've got the second problem, which is a medication that is probably unnecessary, because it's only there to control symptoms, because you were already told in my little scenario that you don't have some serious disease. So if you don't have this serious disease, then you're being medicated for a symptom that could probably be fixed with root cause analysis. So that leads to degradation of the underlying symptom and the underlying root cause. And so you get more symptoms. You probably get more symptoms from the medication that you're on. And then you go back to the doctor and it starts all over again. They have to now evaluate you. They have to send you for more tests. They have to send you to different specialists and more specialists. They probably will send you to different specialists because they sent you to a previous one before who ruled out disease. So you'll go to a different specialist and start a new pathway and probably get another medication. And so again, the best case scenario is that you leave the system without a diagnosis of serious disease. You get a diagnosis of some symptom, you get a new medication for that symptom, and now you have unresolved original condition, no root cause analysis. You've got two medications now, and you are stable for a while. And then your symptoms begin to crop up and it starts all over again. This medicalization of symptoms without root cause analysis is what happens to people. And this is how we end up with more and more symptoms. What can be layered on top of this is inadequate and unscientific guidelines and what we call evidence-based medicine. And so evidence-based medicine essentially says that The only type of medicine that we can practice is medicine where someone has done a double-blind study on some kind of symptom, and that is only funded, surprise, by drug companies. So all of a sudden you get this capture of evidence-based medicine, which was originally a good idea, to have 4 tiers of medicine, 3 or 5 or 4 tiers of medicine, which would help you figure out what level of proof or evidence we have for an intervention or for a diagnostic process. The problem is we have industry capture of those particular problems, because when you analyze scientifically, it costs a lot of money to do single variable analysis. So invariably, the drug companies start to capture the science behind this work. And in fact, we've heard in the recent years that not only mental health, but physical health journals are captured by industry, in that they hire particular professors and particular writers, that some are not even professors, to write in the stead of professors, so that these journal articles get published in very prestigious journals, written by very prestigious authors, but they're not actually written by the prestigious authors. They're ghost written. And so that is how we end up with evidence-based guidelines that say you should take this drug or that drug for that condition, and it's highly effective and it's safe, when it really may not be. So I just wanted to give you that little background on what I see happening in healthcare in the United States compared to what we see around the world, with less escalation, less funky, crazy guidelines, and more ability for people to be normal weights, normal hormones, and without an alarming state going to the doctor. When they go to the doctor, there isn't this alarm activated that says, oh my God, we have to intervene. There's really generally the idea that we were supposed to have decades ago, which was, when in doubt, do nothing. The idea in medicine is supposed to be, don't just do something, stand there. Instead of don't just stand there, do something. Thank you.